Welcome everybody. Today what I wanted to do is provide you with some information about a new way of purchasing training from Ribbon Communications via something called subscriptions. And so first things first, the agenda. So I want to talk about introducing what this subscription service is, walk into what is our pricing, how can you order this subscription, value proposition, why we feel this is something new and something that would be very beneficial to you, as well as, what are the first steps when you purchase a subscription from us? How do we bring you on board? And then at the end, we'll, of course, have some time for Q&A. Please, again, feel free to ask your questions. Ricardo will try to answer those offline, and we'll get those back to you at the end, as well as any others that may come in. So the reason we created a subscription service is to answer some of the common problems that we feel a lot of our customers and clients are actually running into. Usually training is only really available whenever we're purchasing products. It's part of a project, as you can imagine. And that's pretty normal. Then we would provide you with the training. And once it's done, we're completed, you move on, we move on. But we don't really hear from you anymore after that. We don't know how well you're doing. Usually there's no budget for any kind of an ad hoc training need throughout the year. It can be things like you may have some new staff that may be coming in, or you may have maybe merged with another company and you now have a whole new group of products within your network. Small or custom training is not always available. Again, you would have to purchase that independently. We would have to scope it. It gets kind of costly. Or maybe you just don't recall everything that was taught in the last training session that was taken. It could have happened a while ago. You're just now working on the product, and it's just difficult to keep things like that in top of mind. So how do we answer this? So training, if you're doing a subscription, training is available for customers basically to take all year round at this point. You can plan and use training whenever you're ready. It doesn't matter when you purchase the subscription. You have a full year to use it. It covers training customization needs as well. So if you do have a requirement to do some training throughout the year, maybe something custom, new staff, whatever you want to do, a new feature comes on board and you want to be able to implement that, we can support it. And you'll have access to our instructors long after the class is completed. And this can help you reinforce any skills you may need, or if you've got any weak areas that you want to practice on, all these things can be available via these subscription services. So basically, it's a new annual service for Ribbon Communications, and it provides traditional and some premium training services, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. It's flexible, and it is scalable, as you'll see. There are multiple packages, and they are in various sizes depending on your personal needs. Okay. So this is what the packages actually look like. The very first one is called an OmniPass on the left side of your screen. Really what this is unlimited access to our self-paced courseware for the entire year, right? And that is included in the next pass, which is what we call the white pass. It includes the OmniPass, which is the all-you-can-consume self-paced. It also includes 5 student days. And that, again, it's a full year of access, and your 5 student days can be used anytime or any way you want throughout the entire year. The Royal Pass includes the OmniPass, but more than 5 student days. You now have 25 student days that you can use any way you wish. It includes a couple of premium services, something called a follow-up or a refresher. If you've taken training and you want to bring your team back together and follow up on something that you may have learned in the classroom, we will have that available to you. And it also provides you with access to a personal instructor for anything you may need. The Platinum Pass, again, includes the OmniPass. You now have 50 flexible student days. The follow-up trainings available, personal instructors available. Also something called eLabs, which is really the ability to come in and take use of our training labs. You'll actually log into some equipment that we have in our training labs everywhere. An instructor will be available during that whole period and take your staff through whatever it is you feel they need to be doing to enhance their skills. This is a great place to try things out before you do this in your actual network. The Black Pass is our largest. That's fairly sizable. It includes all of those premium services, 200 flexible student days, so it's fairly large. But it also includes custom development. So we may not have a course, so to speak, on the back of the truck that's available for your team. You may need something unique. You might have a unique deployment, and you may want us to develop some courseware for you and provide that to your staff. So this is an area where we can work with you to develop something and roll it out. All of these basically build on each other, and they're pretty much good for a full year and renewable at the end of each year. And as Lance had pointed out, the downloads will have some information about all of these passes as well as the premium services. So this is the pricing and how you can basically order this. The OmniPass is listed at $2,500, but what's interesting is when you move to the White Pass, it is listed at $3,000 US, but this comes with 5 student days that you can use any way you wish. It's only a $500 difference, so that's actually pretty good value. And as you move up, what we've done is we've provided some fairly good discounting for what's in those packages. We'll get to that in a minute, but it's incremental. So typically an individual would purchase an OmniPass. You know, purchase that with a purchase order or a credit card even. White Pass would be very similar. You usually would expect to see an individual purchase the White Pass. Again, can use a credit card or a purchase order. When you start moving into the Royal Pass, the Platinum and the Black, normally that's purchased by an account. So they may want to use it for anybody on their staff. They may not know who or when, but it doesn't really matter to us. We're not associating names yet with these subscriptions when they're bought. That's really up to you as managers or individuals who are trying to purchase these passes. You do with them whatever you want. All of these are pretty much available now. So you can purchase these basically anytime you want. If you purchase these during your budget cycles, or if you purchase them when you have a large project that comes in, for example, it's easier to get them through approval. If you do this anytime throughout the rest of the year, our experience has been it's very difficult to open up a budget that hasn't been planned for. So we find it easier if it's done during the budget cycles. And again, for planning purposes, I can expect that it would be easier to plan for next year or the year after, knowing what these are and that they can be made available to you as a resource throughout the year. Okay, so if you do have access to training around the year, which is a good thing, that gives us ability to reach out to you and provide you with some skills throughout the year, you're going to drive a much deeper knowledge of the product throughout the year. And you're certainly going to shorten the time to proficiency for your staff as well. Okay. You will reduce time and effort in order generation. Again, that goes back to being able to associate these with existing projects or year-end budget cycles. It makes life a lot easier for everybody. A personal assistant will be available to you. Ricardo Bonazzi, who's on this call with us, would be your personal assistant here in the U.S., in the Americas. And he's a dedicated resource. So he's going to be the individual single point of contact that you would reach out to no matter what your training needs are. And he's available all year round. The onboarding process is quite simple. So once you've purchased one of these subscriptions and we're ready to get started, basically we'll set up a meeting with you in the beginning. And it's not something we would do with an OmniPass because that's simply access to the self-paced repository. But for the others, we will set up a meeting with you and make sure we all understand what's in scope, what you've purchased, services that are included. And what we'll do throughout the year is maintain communications with you. We'll want to provide you with reports on how well you're doing, who's using the service, how much you have left, the frequency, all of these things I would expect you'd want to know so you're getting the most for your dollar, right? And then at the end of the full year, which starts the day the purchase order is received, within 60 days of that, we'll send you a notice to let you know that it's getting ready to expire and it would be a good time to renew. So basically the ultimate objective really is to enable customers to take full advantage of your purchase. And this is why we would have this onboarding process and a personal advisor as well. So, okay. That pretty much takes me to the end. It's short and sweet. Not sure if you guys have any questions. I'll ask Ricardo if any were received during the presentation.
No questions at the moment, Wayne. Let's just give a few seconds for the folks to raise their main and immediate questions, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Hey, Wayne. Yeah, there are a couple that I see here that we can address if you guys are ready. The first one, someone asked if I can order a subscription now and align it to my maintenance renewal.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, you actually can do that. And the way that would work is if your maintenance renewal, for example, comes up in 6 months, we would prorate the subscription. So imagine it would be half the price with half of the services that are available for that subscription. And then when the renewal comes around for your maintenance, then we can renew it at the full amount so that it now stays current and the coterminous, if you will, with the maintenance renewal. Any others, Lance? Hey, Lance, did I lose you?
I guess we lost Lance.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions for us? I'm happy to answer them. Also, while we're waiting for Lance to come back, if you're not sure, that's fine. If you'd like for us to meet with your team and just review this as well, so that they can ask even, they can ask us more questions or get deeper into what these services are or what they have, we're happy to do that. We're absolutely happy to do that. You can reach out to us through training_admin@rbbn.com, or if you just have questions you want to ask us and you can't think of them now, but you maybe can think of them later, please feel free to reach out to us at this email address and we'll respond to them right away.
We just got a question here, Wayne, from Tom. Thanks for raising that. It's an excellent question, Tom. So basically, for the self-paced courses, can only one student use that service? So Wayne would like to address that.
Oh, that's a great question. So here's how the self-paced stuff works. If you have an OmniPass, obviously that's just a single individual user, right? And if that person is, let's say they move on to another company, we'll let you transfer that to another individual one time throughout the period of the year. So any one of these users in your company that have an OmniPass login can do that one time. As for an example, on the White Pass, there are 5 student days. So for every student day that you're purchasing, we're going to give you access, a user account for the self-pay. So if you've got 5 student days, 5 users from your company can actually have access to this. All 5 can actually transfer the asset one time throughout the year. And that's the same for all the others as well. Look at the number of student days that are available. I'm going to back up for just a minute so you can see that. So Royal Pass has 25 student days. That means 25 individuals from your company, for example, would have access to the system. You may or may not have that many, but it does give you the ability to trade out once a year, 25 staff members. And as you grow up this ladder, they get quite large. You may want to give them to people who are non-technical or technical managers or whoever you feel may want it. It doesn't really matter to us who has access to the system, but if you feel it may help others know more about the products within your network, you're absolutely welcome to do that. Okay.
All right. Les, were you able to join us back?
No, he's not back yet.
All right, so let me just take on a few other questions that we received here before the meeting, Wayne. Hold on. Just
sure.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Ricardo. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, we hear you. Just...
Okay, I had to power off my headset and power it back on, but I'm back in business. Sorry about that, everyone. I saw that question that came in there. Thanks for handling that. There was a question about using existing credits to purchase the subscription.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Sometimes sometimes our clients will actually have training bank credits. They'll have purchased them as part of a project, and they're good for a year as well. If you have credits, any kind of training credits with us, we're actually happy to convert those into passes as well. So we actually had one client do that not long ago, and we were able to provide him with something a bit more flexible, and which was the biggest reason why he wanted this. He was looking for a more flexible training plan, and this offered it. So he was quite happy that we were able to convert his credits. Okay.
Good deal. Let's see. I don't know if this one was addressed while I was away, but what if one of your staff people, what if one of my staff people moves? Can this be transferred somehow?
Yeah, we just talked about that in
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
Yeah, in some detail. Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Let's see, what else? Can I order a combination of subscription passes?
That's another great one. Yeah, maybe you have more than 25 people that want access to the self-paced, or you have a need for more than 25 student days of training, but not quite 50. So yes, you can combine the White Pass with the Royal Pass, or maybe you can combine your Royal with the Platinum and get the numbers you're looking for. So these are they're all incremental. You can add them any way you like to get the numbers you want to work out for you. Great question, Lance.
Okay. Very good. And then we got one more, so I'll just encourage everybody, if you do have another question, please submit it now to that bottom right-hand side of the screen. But this other question we have is, can I complement a subscription pass with some other type of specific premium training services?
Okay, yeah, another great question. When you're looking at the premium services, and those are the follow-up, refresher type sessions, a personal instructor for an hour, 2 hours a day, e-labs where we bring me back into a session with an instructor and they walk you right into some labs and give you practice time, and any custom development for courseware. All of those things can actually be purchased now independent of a subscription. So if you are looking to add additional services because you don't feel like there's enough of one available within a pass that you're purchasing, those can be added incrementally so you can have the amount of premium service that you feel you need. I actually had one customer ask us for that last month. They were wanting to extend the e-labs. So they purchased 30 days of e-labs to go with their pass. It worked out really well for them as an example. So yes, you can do that.
Okay, very good. Well, there's no more questions that come in. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say to sort of wrap things up about the package, Wayne or Ricardo?
So I have just one. I see some of the folks are available in other countries other than the U.S. So this service is available globally. So we're selling this to all the regions across the world. There's no changes there to all the current Ribbon customers are welcome to really to seize this type of service. So it's readily available to everybody else.
Very good. Just want to mention one more time that the handouts that are available, if you want to get today's slides, you can get those right now. Also, there's a education services subscription doc that you can take as well. Wayne, maybe you put it on your last slide, the contact information there, in case anybody wants to reach out to either of you. And I would also like to mention, of course, our website, ribbоncommunications.com. At the very top, you can click services, go to education services. You can see some other information and details about not only this training, but other training programs that the team offers. So that's all I have for today. I want to thank everybody for your time. Please feel free to reach out to Ricardo or Wayne if you have any questions. And we'll be sending a replay link out to all of you later this afternoon. So look for that, and maybe some other training information coming down the road in Q3 and Q4.